Hello guys and welcome to another sololevelingarise video. In this one I would like to give you tips and a general guideline on how to beat Giant Arachnid. It might be let's say an easier boss to handle, but there are some things that if you know, it will make it even easier. So let's quickly start with the boss passives. So the first passive is a boss's depleted break gauge will recharge. This is pretty self-explanatory. Once you deplete the break gauge, after a while it will appear again. Use a skill that heals the user. The boss can heal itself. And then strong against dark. Incoming dark attacks deal 50% damage. So dark units will deal half the amount of damage, which means that it's not a good idea to bring dark damage dealers here. The recommended element is light. They deal 150% damage. So units like Sha, Bike, they are really good here. The best in slot DPS for this fight is Cha Hae-In. She is a really good DPS. She's the best unit in the game right now. She also provides the best skill right now against the spider, which is unrecoverable. So if you don't have a skill that like unrecoverable, the spider will heal a lot every time it tries to heal itself. Yes, so it gains around 40% HP of what it had before. And with this, you don't have to worry about this, making the fight way easier than without this. So having this unit makes the fight really easy. So this is the start of the fight. I'm quickly showing the set and the skills and the stats. Feel free to pause them if you want to see specifically what kind of stats I had. It's just to record on what would be like the minimum requirements for the fight, because I was clearing tier 10, and with the showcase I believe that it's also fair to just also show all the stats I had. Yeah. So I chose Igris as the shadow because I want Shy to create as much as possible because of the dancer. So, alright, first part of the fight, or well, in all parts of the fight, what you want to do is break while maintaining the unrecoverable debuff. This is applied by Chai. Don't worry about doing the whole skill. If you see that the spider is going to attack you, then just try to evade it. It will cancel the attack, but still, it's better to apply the unrecoverable buff then try to do damage and then, you know, kill Chai. So as you can see, I do certain amount of iterations where I can maintain Seo's hits, and then when I see that I have to do many basic attacks to maintain the break, I just switch to M. Then I just do DPS with Cha. I try to maintain the unrecoverable buff. It's important to know that at around 60%, the spider will try to go up to start recovering. So when you are around that mark, just make sure that you have reapplied the unrecoverable buff around at least 10 seconds before it went up, because the unrecoverable buff lasts 30 seconds and the spider lasts, I believe, 10 to 15 seconds on top of there. Yeah. And then here you just move around. If you don't have a core attack ready, you can take your time there and set it up. Yeah. And then it's just about breaking again. I believe that the second time she needs to go back up for the recovery is 20%. So as you can see, I'm already at 35%. That's important to know because that's when you know that you have to apply the unrecoverable buff. Yeah. Now I'm just doing damage because I know that the spider will go back up again. As you can see, it's the 20% mark, so it went back up again. This is the second time. Now you can kill the spider. Yeah? If you applied unrecoverable buff in these two parts, so at 60% and 20%, then you have enough time to finish it off. As you can see, I believe it did recover a little bit, but it's not a big problem. Yeah? The important thing is to apply it as close to the 60% or 20% mark. Then you just need to focus on finishing off the boss. As you can see, I tried to do cycling to Cha over trying to use Emma's ult, for example, because the damage of Emma's ult is not so great in comparison to Cha. So if I want to prioritize clearing, I will use Cha over Emma. And there you have it, guys. The fight is relatively easy. It's mostly about applying unrecoverable buffs and breaking as much as possible. If you want to build alternative teams, if you're missing Seo, you can use Bike. Bike is actually the best one, the best in slot for breakers, because he's the right element and he also breaks really fast. He's one of the best breakers in the game. And you can also use Seo Jiwoo, but you will lack more damage. So in this specific fight with this CP, Seo, I use her as also sub DPS, so replacing her with this guy wouldn't be ideal. Bike would be a better choice. And in case you get Bike, you won't need two breakers, so you can replace also Emma for something like Min. Min is really good for supporting here. You also have Choi. Choi is really good in this fight as well. And then if you don't have Cha and you want to go and you see that you don't have enough damage, you can try with Han Song-Yi. Yeah, she has a QT skill that decreases the target recovery rate by 70%. But still, if you do not have Cha, then the fight will be a bit harder, because you need Bike with quite good gear, because Cha can do a lot of damage with low gear requirements, but Bike needs certain gear requirements and certain ascension level also to be good. So in comparison to having or not having Cha, the difference will be quite high. So just have that in mind. If you don't have Cha, then you will need a higher requirement team with better gear, etc. And that's about it, guys. If you like these kinds of videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.